My name is Paul Betko. I'm just a concerned parent. But I was wondering, is it anticipated that the current school year budget is going to have to absorb 100% of the pension pushback from the state? Because I would think that, you know, for the students currently in the system, it'd be fair if that burden could be phased in over time as to not directly impact this year's budget. And then secondly, is it true that Montgomery County as a whole is going to have to carry a larger burden than other counties just because of our income generation is in proportionality to the other counties in the state?
Well, first of all, the pension issue will just begin the debate in the legislature starting next week. So this school year, FY11, is not, the pension passback is not coming in now. But we don't know, you know, there's a work group in Annapolis, and their recommendation is that it be wealth-based, so that means that the wealthier counties will absorb a greater percent of the pension that's passed back, that it would be wealth equalized, and that it would be phased in over a couple of years. So, but all of that is just preliminary from this work group. There's a lot of interest in Annapolis. Our our delegation last year, there was a bill that passed in the Senate, but it failed in the House. It seems apparent that they're, from the governor and this work group and the leadership, because of the state's $1.6 billion deficit, that it will be passed back over time. The issue of pensions, everyone talks about the teacher pensions. It also will impact Montgomery College and the libraries because they're under the same state pension. So the Montgomery County Public Schools, Montgomery College, and the libraries will be impacted by whatever decision in passing back. One of the problems in the early 90s, when I was talking about 20 years ago, the teacher's Social Security was passed back from the state to Montgomery County, our share, and that impacted us. That was a $20 million hit. You're talking about, in some of these proposals, in the first year, a $60 million hit. And so it's, I mean, even adjusted for inflation, if in that first year we have to absorb a $60 million hit from the pension, on top of what the county is already struggling with, that's why we're so concerned. The legislative session ends in April, so our first crack at the budget is in February, but we won't know until April what happens with that pension. Is it phased in over 3 years? Is it wealth equalized? So we're absorbing a bigger share than Baltimore City or some of the poor counties. But bear in mind, it will impact the college and the libraries as well.
Let me very briefly say to you, this is where we need your help. What is coming before the state legislature is something that does tend to isolate Montgomery County, and yet we have a very strong delegation. That delegation will only be as strong as it can be if you let them know how important this issue is to you, and it should be very important to you. We had a meeting not too long ago with people sitting here. It is our #1 priority in terms of trying to forestall and minimize the damage this will cause to the county and to the school system. You need to be in touch with your delegates. You need to let them, and your senators, and let them know, and the governor. And the governor who won in large measure because of the bounty of Montgomery County. You need to remind these people this is important.
There's two things. One is your budget is being cut right now. We've cut $10 million already, and we're trying to get to about 17. The problem is going to be is that it's going to be an uphill battle because every time the gasoline goes up 1 cent, it costs us $30,000. You wouldn't want us to stop running those buses.
Can I just clarify, you're talking about this year's budget?
Yes, this year's budget. We've already cut 10 million out right now. That's a lot of those textbooks and supplies, because that's where you cut when you can't lay people off after you get started. And we are being asked to cut more, and we're trying to do our best to be good citizens. But going against us is the gasoline price and the heating oil price and all of the prices of the fuels, because they're really reap havoc with us. And yes, they want your money. Because it also goes with not only your money, but it's easier for them to get the votes that way. Because if they take it disproportionately from us, that means some other counties, they can get their votes on that issue. Because not as much comes from them. And we will be very hurt if they make it well-placed. We'll pick up maybe another 30 or 40% more than we, to help other counties.